Maya's village was nestled by a river, surrounded by lush greenery and the soothing sounds of flowing water. The villagers lived in harmony with nature, working together in the fields and sharing the bounty of the land. They relied on the fertile land for their food, growing crops that thrived in the rich soil, and the river for their water, which was always fresh and abundant. Life was simple and good, filled with the laughter of children and the contentment of a community that knew the value of togetherness. Children like Maya grew up playing in the fields, running through the tall grass and swimming in the cool, refreshing water of the river, making memories that would last a lifetime. The village elders taught them to respect the earth and all its creatures, passing down wisdom and traditions that had been kept alive for generations. The rhythm of the seasons dictated their lives, with each season bringing its own set of activities and celebrations. They planted their crops during the monsoon season, when the rains would nourish the soil and ensure a bountiful harvest. They harvested them under the warm summer sun, working together to gather the fruits of their labor. The river, their lifeline, always flowed generously, providing water for drinking, cooking, and irrigation. It provided nourishment to the land and sustenance to the people, ensuring that the village thrived. The villagers felt a deep connection to their environment, understanding that they were a part of a larger ecosystem. They understood the delicate balance of nature, knowing that their actions could either protect or harm the environment. They knew their well-being depended on the health of the land and the river, and they took great care to maintain this balance. They pledged to protect them, just as their ancestors had done for generations before them, ensuring that future generations would also enjoy the blessings of the river and the land. The climate began to change. The seasons became unpredictable, shifting in ways that left everyone guessing. The rains, once a blessing, turned erratic. They no longer followed the familiar patterns that the villagers had relied on for generations. Sometimes they were too scarce, parching the land and leaving the soil cracked and dry. Other times they arrived in torrents, flooding the fields and washing away the precious topsoil. Summers grew hotter, scorching the earth with relentless heat, making it difficult for anything to grow. The villagers watched with growing concern, their eyes often turned to the sky, searching for signs of relief. The familiar rhythms of nature were disrupted, throwing the ecosystem out of balance. Their once reliable crops struggled to grow, wilting under the harsh conditions. The river, their lifeline, began to dwindle, its flow becoming weaker with each passing day. It shrank day by day, its once abundant flow reduced to a trickle, barely enough to sustain the village. The elders, wise in the ways of nature, noticed these changes with a heavy heart, their wisdom telling them that something was deeply wrong. They had seen the patterns repeat themselves over the years, but never with such intensity and unpredictability. They knew that these were not just normal fluctuations, but signs of a larger, more ominous shift. These were signs of a changing climate, a threat they had heard whispers of from distant lands, now becoming a harsh reality in their own. Then came the storm. It was unlike anything the villagers had ever seen. The wind howled, tearing through their homes. The rain fell relentlessly, flooding the fields and streets. The river, already weakened, swelled and overflowed its banks. It raged through the village, swallowing everything in its path. When the storm finally subsided, the villagers emerged from their shelters. They were met with a scene of devastation. Their homes were destroyed, reduced to rubble. Their crops, their source of food, were washed away. The once fertile land was now a muddy wasteland. Despair settled over the village. They had lost everything. Their homes, their livelihoods, their sense of security. The children were frightened. The elders were heartbroken. The future seemed bleak and uncertain. Maya, however, refused to give in to despair. She stood tall, her eyes scanning the devastation around her, but her spirit remained unbroken. She had seen the fear in the eyes of her friends and family. Their faces were etched with worry, their hearts heavy with uncertainty. She felt the weight of their loss, the collective grief that hung in the air like a dark cloud. But she also felt a surge of determination, a fire ignited within her, a resolve to change their fate. She would not let her village be consumed by this disaster. She knew that action was the only way forward. Maya remembered the stories her grandmother used to tell, tales of bravery, of resilience, of hope, stories of their ancestors overcoming challenges. They had faced adversities before and had always emerged stronger. Stories of resilience and hope. These stories were not just tales, they were a testament to their enduring spirit. She knew they had faced hardships before and had always found a way to rebuild. Their history was a beacon of hope. This time will be no different. They would rise again, stronger and more united. We have faced challenges before, and we have always found a way to rebuild. Our strength lies in our unity. This time will be no different. Together we will overcome. Maya gathered the villagers, young and old. She knew that their strength lay in their unity. She reminded them of their strength, their unity, their spirit. They were not just individuals, they were a community. She spoke of the need to act, to rebuild their lives and their village. Her voice carried the weight of their shared history and the promise of a brighter future. Her words, filled with passion and conviction, ignited a spark of hope in their hearts. They knew that with Maya leading them, they could face any challenge.